Hey, how is it going? Lee Hayward here with the Total Fitness Bodybuilding Live video chat. And this is something that I do most every Friday afternoon around 4 p.m. Eastern Time. I know I'm a little tiny bit late today, but hey, still going to do it nonetheless. So the way these video chats work is I'm going to be hanging out here for the next half an hour or so, answering any questions that you may have with regards to building muscle, losing fat, getting in shape, all that good stuff. So if you do have any questions about your workouts, your nutrition, when it comes to building muscle, losing fat, hey, feel free to post those questions, comments, feedback down in the comment section below or in the chat window, wherever it happens to be. And I'll do the best that I can to help you out over the course of our chat today. So, one thing that I want to address first before I actually get into answering some questions, and this was a question that came through from one of my coaching students, Jeff. And he sent me this earlier today, and he was wondering about structuring his workout program to avoid excess muscle soreness. And he's been changing up his routine lately, and he finds that when he does certain body parts, like if it's chest day or leg day or back day or whatever, he's getting really sore in those body parts, and it's sometimes taking several days to recover. So he was wondering, like, how can you go about changing things up? And one thing that I've been doing a lot of lately, and I find it's been very helpful with my workouts, is instead of having a dedicated body part day, like it is chest day, it's back day, it's leg day, or whatever, I like to do mini total body workouts. So I basically do a little bit for a lot of different muscle groups. Now, I mean, some days it's not a true total body workout. Like I might prioritize upper body one day or prioritize lower body the next, but I still do a little bit for a lot of different muscle groups rather than just blasting one particular body part with like 20 plus sets and causing that body part to get painfully sore. I might just do 5 sets per body part and hit several different body parts in the same workout. And this is what I've been doing for a long time, pretty much the past year or so. This is how I've been structuring my own workouts. And the cool thing about it is you get more training frequency and you don't break the muscle down to the point where it gets painfully sore after a training session. And it helps to speed up the recovery process. So you just do a little bit of stimulation, you allow your body to rest, recover from that, and it helps to just speed up the process without getting into that delayed onset muscle soreness, which can be very painful and frustrating at times, especially if you're trying to do other activities outside the gym. It really sucks. Like, let's just say you want to go hiking on the weekend or cycling, or you want to do something, outside the gym, and your legs are so sore you can hardly walk, or your back is killing you and you just feel so painful, or your shoulders or whatever. Like if you do the typical bodybuilding split routine, that often happens. You get that delayed onset muscle soreness. But if you're doing more frequent workouts with more total body style training, you don't break the muscle down to the same degree. And this is something that I've kind of introduced a little bit in a video series that I'm putting together on the channel now. It's the Father and Son Get Back in Shape workout program. And I've got the third and final part of that series coming. I just had a little bit of delay in the editing process with that one, but that one will be posted up within the next couple days. So you can look forward to that. But that program is 3 total body workouts. And each workout covers different exercises. So even though it's total body training, you're doing different exercises each time, and you have a lot of variety over the course of the week. Because one of the drawbacks with most typical total body workouts is a lot of times people get stuck into doing the same routine over and over and over again. And while that's okay for a novice, if you're more advanced with your training, it really limits the amount of variety and muscle stimulation you can get. So if you change up your workouts and you're doing different exercises for each muscle group, then you get a lot of variety over the course of the week. So you can kind of get the best of both worlds. You get the best of a bodybuilding split routine with the training variety, plus you get the best of a total body workout with the frequency and not really breaking down each muscle group so much that you get that delayed onset muscle soreness. So it's just another way of going about it. But ultimately, what matters the most is that you're consistent with your workouts, regardless of what it is you're doing. Whether it's a body part split, whether it's an upper lower split, total body, or however you want to split it up. The most important thing is that you're actually going to the gym and training, right? Like let's get that one down and like cross that off the list first. And then the details of how you go about splitting it up, that's secondary in importance. Because I know a lot of times I'll talk to people and they'll be debating, oh, what's the best workout and what's this and that, and they're debating all the different variables and routines and splits, and then when we actually get talking, like they're not even consistent with going to the gym in the first place. So I mean, like, if you're not consistent with going to the gym, all the details in the world don't matter. Right? You focus on what's most important. Get your ass to the gym, and then how you go about structuring the workouts, that's secondary. Worry about that after. All right, let's see who we got tuning in today. I'm just going to jump in. We've got Ross is joining in. We've got Robert. We've got Dash. We've got Mark. Hey guys, how is it going today? Again, if you have any questions, comments, or topics of discussion, go ahead, post them in our chat window, and I'll do the best I can. Ross is asking, what are my thoughts on cheat meals once per week? When it comes to cheat meals or cheat whatever, like, I purposely don't really plan it in advance. I'm very intuitive when it comes to that. Like, if you are craving something, then I see no problem in indulging a little bit to get that craving out of your system. Or if you know in advance, like, you're going to be going out to dinner with your family, or you got a special occasion coming up, a birthday or a holiday or whatever. I mean, yeah, absolutely. I mean, you can certainly enjoy yourself. The thing when it comes to a cheat meal is enjoy the meal in moderation, but get back on track right after that meal. Don't use the cheat meal as an excuse to blow off several days of eating. And I'll give you a prime example. Like, today is Friday. This is the way a lot of people are going to handle their cheat, and it's going to really set them back. Like, Friday evening, they say, oh, I'm going to have a cheat meal, right? They say, I'm going to order a pizza, or we're going to go out to a restaurant, or whatever. They're going to have some sort of cheat meal junk food. And then Friday, they have that, they indulge it. And then the next day, Saturday, you know what, like, oh man, all right, I blew it on Friday. You know what, screw it. I'll get back on track on Monday. And then they're going to continue eating like crap on Saturday. They're going to continue eating like crap on Sunday. And then Monday rolls around and they're going to start a new diet, right, on Monday. When what you should do is the very next meal after your so-called cheat meal, get back on track. Don't delay it any longer. And this is how you're going to be able to stay on track. Still have your cheat meal, enjoy the foods that you're craving and all that. Get those cravings out of your system so that you can get back on track again. See, that's one of the problems with dieting is if you go on these crazy hardcore cutting diets where people say, hey, you're not allowed to have a cheat meal, then what happens is you can put on the blinders and you can focus on just sticking to the plan and relying on willpower, but willpower only lasts so long. I don't care who you are. I don't care how disciplined you are. Eventually, sooner or later, you're going to run out of willpower. It's only a matter of time. And I'm speaking from personal experience. I mean, I would go on 6-month-long cutting diets with like 6 months, no cheat, like getting ready for bodybuilding competitions. And the cravings would just build and build and build. And in the final like month or so before competition, I would literally be lying awake at night, just fantasizing and dreaming about the foods that I was going to binge on after the contest was over, right? Like, willpower never lasts long term, forever, right? Eventually, sooner or later, you're going to give in. And once you give in and you say like, screw it, and you go back to your old habits and start binge eating and cheating and all that, then that's when a lot of people, really get off track and they're like, oh, I blew the diet, screw it, I failed again. And then they're back to square one. Whereas if you just give into the cheat meal when you have those cravings, those temptations, you indulge, you satisfy, you get those cravings out of your system, and then get back on track for your very next meal. And another way that you can make cheat meals work to your favor is when you're having a cheat meal, don't just pig out on whatever it is. Like, let's just use pizza as an example. I mean, this would apply to any food, but I'm just going to use pizza as an example. Let's say, you're going to order a pizza. What I would do in the past, back when I was in my fat, out-of-shape dad bod days, and I'm supporting the dad bod transformation Facebook group here now, right? I'm a resident coach over on the dad bod transformation group. If you want to go check it out for any fellow dads out there who are looking to lose their dad bod, just search for dad bod transformation on Facebook. It's one of the fastest growing fitness groups for dads on Facebook. Highly recommended. Anyway, back to the question here, or back to the topic, I should say. Is what I would find is when I would be back in my out of shape fat dad bod days, we would order a pizza, and let's just say we'd order the biggest jumbo size pizza that they offered. And then I would just stuff myself on as many slices of pizza. Let's just say I eat 6 slices of pizza. And then the next day we'd still have leftover pizza. So we'd be eating pizza for, a day or so afterwards. Whereas now the way that I would handle that is like a couple weeks ago, this exact situation happened. We wanted to order a pizza. So instead of ordering the biggest jumbo size pizza, my wife and I, we ordered a medium sized pizza. So it's a smaller pizza. It was only a couple slices of pizza each. Maybe it was a small, I'm not sure, but whatever it was only like literally, it was a 4-slice pizza. So I think that is considered small. But anyway, we had 2 slices of pizza each. What we did first is we filled up, we had a large garden salad with a chopped up chicken breast first as like an appetizer before our cheat meal. So that kind of like pre-filled our belly and satisfied our hunger initially. And then afterwards, we had that chicken and salad. Then we had a couple slices of pizza. And by the time I finished that, the chicken, the salad, and the 2 slices of pizza, like I was stuffed. I couldn't physically eat anymore because my belly was full of all the high volume food that I had first to pre-fill my belly, but I still got to satisfy my pizza craving afterwards. I just satisfied it with less pizza. Whereas if I had started eating pizza when I was famished and hungry and had nothing else in my system, I probably would have eaten 6 slices. Whereas by doing it the way that we did, filling up on the protein and veggies first, I only ate 2 slices. So I minimized the damage done, but I still got the satisfaction of enjoying pizza. And what you need to really look at when it comes to a lot of cheat meals is, do you really need to eat a lot of that food to satisfy your craving? Like when it comes to pizza, like, okay, eat 2 slices. I mean, after that, it's just more of the same. Even technically 1 slice of pizza, but I mean, I went for 2. I had 2 slices. I mean, after that, like I didn't want to just keep eating more and more. And the same with like ice cream or chocolate or whatever. Like once you get the taste of it and you kind of get that craving satisfied, then continuing to eat beyond that, it's just like more of the same. It's not really providing anything additional to your whole satisfaction, if you will. So my strategy is I always pre-fill my belly first with the protein and the veggies. Usually for me, like I say, it's a large garden salad with a chopped up chicken breast. I mean, that is very filling, very satiating. It's going to take away the edge off my hunger. Then when I have the cheat meal afterwards, I'm not going to eat as much. It's not going to take as much food to get full. And I'm going to be able to satisfy the craving with less damage done. So that's how you can basically have your cheat and still lose fat in the process, right? You want to be smart about it so that you can enjoy these foods, get those cravings out of your system, and just get on with your life, get on with your healthy eating, and not obsessing about it. Because one of the problems when it comes to cheats and dieting in general is if you try and prolong it and you try to keep putting it off and keep putting it off, then the cravings build and build and build. And eventually it gets to the point where you just can't take it anymore and you're just like, screw it. And that's when you binge and you just start eating like a madman and stuffing your face full of junk and crap. Right? You want to avoid getting to that point. So little tiny like releases of those temptations is so much better, right? Little tiny releases. So like, if I'm craving a cookie or I'm craving some chips or I'm craving something, then I'll satisfy it. Like if I want a cookie, I'll go and have a cookie, get that craving out of my system so then I can get back on track again. Whereas if I kept saying, no, I'm not going to eat that cookie, then I'm not going to eat that cookie. I'm not going to eat that cookie. And then all of a sudden that craving it's still in the back of my mind. I'm still thinking about that freaking cookie. And then all of a sudden the craving starts to build and build and build. And then next thing you know, I'll eat a whole box of cookies, right? Whereas if I just had 1 or 2 cookies, get that craving out of the system, then I can get back on track. So that's a strategy I use, is I like to have smaller, more frequent cheat meals or treats or whatever you want to call it, and then get back on track as soon as possible. And when it comes to your eating, as long as you're on track, like 80 to 90% of the time, that's good enough. You don't need to be 100% perfect. 80 to 90% on track, and then having 10 to 20% flexibility, 10 to 20% where you're going to eat whatever you want, you can still make progress that way. It doesn't have to be all or nothing, this extreme approach. It just has to be good enough, but good enough consistently. And that's what I really go into detail with and cover in my book that I wrote, the How I Went From Fat to Ripped After 40. And if you haven't done so already, you can download that for free. Just head on over to my website, leehayward.com. Up in the top menu bar or on the side menu bar there's a link where you can download it. So again, leehayward.com, download How I Went from Fat to Ripped After 40. And it goes into detail about the training, the nutrition, and the mindset and the strategies that I implemented to make losing fat, and not only losing it, but keeping it off and enjoying the process. And that's the key. If you don't enjoy the process, then what's the point, right? I hate it when I see guys going on these crazy restrictive cutting diets, like some crazy low carb, ketogenic, intermittent fasting, starvation program. And yeah, they drop a bunch of weight and they stick with it for, 2 to 3 months. And then after that, they're like, man, they can't take it anymore. And then they go back to their old eating habits and binge and gain all the weight back again. Like, what's the point of dropping 20 pounds in 2 months only to gain 25 or 30 back in the next 6 months? Like, that's the reality for most people who go on a diet, right? They lose a little bit and then they gain a lot more, right? Lose 20, put back 30. Then you end up getting fatter with every diet you do. I'd rather lose slow. Heck, I'd rather lose like a pound a month and keep it off versus dropping 10 pounds a month and then putting 15 pounds a month back on afterwards, which is what most people do. Slow and steady, even though it's not sexy, slow and steady is what wins the fat loss race long term, because it allows you to lose it and, more importantly, keep it off. And that's the thing, is not how fast can you lose it, is how long can you keep it off for. That's the real challenge. I mean, most people, we all know people who've lost weight. We all know people who've gained it back again. The whole yo-yo dieting syndrome, right? It happens to 90+% of people who go on a diet. They end up gaining it all back, rebound weight gain. Right? So it's not how fast can you lose it, it's how long can you keep it off. Anyway, let's move on. Let's see what else we got. I know that was a very long-winded question, but hey, sometimes I like to get on these long-winded questions because that's where the value comes out. Hey, Roberts, he's got a question saying he started a 10x10 workout and has been doing it for 4 weeks. Good for you. That's German volume training is generally what we refer to when we say 10x10. I'm a big fan, but I've used several different variations of 10x10 programs, and they certainly do work. And the thing I like about it is it allows you to get a really good workout without having to lift excessively heavy weight, because the volume really takes care of a lot of the muscle stimulation, just the sheer volume of training. And I'm at the stage now where I'm not an ego lifter anymore. Like, I don't care about pushing heavy weights or just, seeing how much I can lift or 1 rep max or any of that crap anymore. It's all about quality workouts, time under tension, stimulating muscle, and staying injury free. And again, the 10x10 style training, that's a good way to do that. The only thing is it can get a bit boring after a while. So you might want to cycle through some different exercises for the 10x10. Because if you keep doing that week after week after week, same exercises over and over again, it gets a bit monotonous. And that's what I used to find when I would do 10x10, is I'd stick with it for maybe a month and then I'm like, man, this is boring. I got to do something different. I'm going to be half cracked here just following the same thing over and over again. Dash is saying, Lee, what should I do on competition day? Well, what kind of competition is it? When is your competition? Blah, blah, blah. I mean, I really need to know more about you and your situation in order to give a proper answer. If you need help with that, like I'm assuming it's some sort of bodybuilding or physique competition that you're doing. If you want some help with that, hey, send me an email, leeh@leehayward.com, and we can chat about it, because that's a very detailed question. Like, what should I do on competition day, right? Like, I had no idea about you, your level of experience, what kind of competition you're doing. Like, there's so much, right? There's so much there. I can't just answer it in a random comment. Mark is saying, how can I work my chest for it to get bigger? How can you work your chest to get bigger? Train it consistently. Train it with progressive overload. Again, that's a very vague question as well. If you want some sample workouts to actually follow, go to the main YouTube channel and open up the playlist tab. Right there on the Total Fitness Bodybuilding YouTube channel, in the playlists, there are a full series of chest workouts, and there's also other workout series in there that do include chest workouts in there. Like, for example, there's a positions of flexion workout, and one of those is a chest workout. There's a home gym dumbbell workout playlist. And again, one of those is a chest workout. And then I also have a dedicated playlist just showing all my different chest workouts. So, I mean, like, you can go in there and there are numerous examples that you can follow along with if you want to see some sample workouts and exercises to follow to help build a bigger chest. everything from beginner to advanced programs in there. So again, that's what I would recommend. We have Random joining in. He's saying, Lee, I'm working out for power. I gained 30 kilograms in 3 years and my heart started to hurt. Should I lose weight? Okay, 30 pounds, sorry, not 30 pounds, 30 kilograms in 3 years. That's a lot of weight. And what I would look at too, look at your body mass index, look at your body fat percentage, and give yourself a good, honest, hard look in the mirror and ask yourself, like, are you overweight? Right? I really don't know. I mean, because I don't know what your body fat percentage is. I don't know what you look like. But I mean, like, if you take your shirt off and you look soft and flabby and you got an extra roll of fat hanging over the belt, then yeah, you should lose some weight. If you take your shirt off and you're lean and ripped and you're chiseled, then no. I mean, that's lean mass on your frame. So you got to do your own evaluation. Like, be honest with yourself. You don't need to ask me if you need to lose weight. You should be able to look in the mirror and decide whether you need to lose weight or not, right? You should be able to have, I guess, the intuition or whatever, or the gut instinct to be able to look at yourself and say, you know what? Hey, I'm a fat slob. I need to lose weight. Or no, hey, I'm ripped and jacked. I'm pretty good. Or maybe I'm somewhere in the middle. Or like, you should be able to evaluate and decide what it is that you need to do. Right? You don't need to ask somebody else, do I need to lose weight? That's like when your girlfriend or your wife is getting dressed and she says, hey, does this dress make me look fat? Like, if you have to ask if something makes you look fat, yes, it makes you look fat. I mean, come on. Of course, I'm not going to say that. My wife's upstairs. I wouldn't say that to her face. But it's true. Right? Like, if you have to ask, right, you're asking someone, do I need to lose weight? Or does this make me look fat? Or like, if you had to ask, and the answer is yes. All right, where else are we to? Anyway, now to make a serious point here, you're saying you're feeling strain in your heart. All right, now I know I was getting carried away there with the question, but having a bit of fun with it. But in all honesty, man, if you are feeling chest pains and pain in your heart, go to your doctor and get it checked out. Like, do not second guess that. I mean, it could be something as simple as heartburn or indigestion or gas or whatever, and hopefully that's all it is, but get it checked out. Do not question chest pains and pains in your heart and whatever. Like, if in doubt, get it checked out, and that's what I would recommend. And then again, you can talk to your doctor. Like, ask him or her if they feel like you're overweight and you need to lose weight and whatever. I mean, hey, take advantage of it. You talk to your doctor, get some advice from them. I mean, I know not all doctors are experts when it comes to fitness and nutrition, but they can still point you in the right direction. Anyway, moving on. Next question. We have Weston saying, do you ever substitute bike rides for leg days? Yes, I do. Lately, I've been doing a lot of bike riding, and I've cut back on some of my leg training in the gym for more cycling days. And I get some killer workouts in the legs when I go cycling. And with my cycling, I'll mix it up. Like, some days it might be just like a long endurance ride. Other days it's high intensity intervals. Where I live, we have a lot of hills. So, I mean, that provides natural intervals. Like, I mean, when you're climbing the hill, that's high intensity. When you're on the flat or on the descent, obviously that's your low intensity. Sometimes I'll run sprints or whatever. So, I mean, I get like, when I ride, I just don't dilly-dally and like, la la, spin my legs, it's a lovely day. No, like, I like to push it. I like to strive for personal records and stuff, and I track my rides, and I'm constantly trying to better and basically train with progressive overload on the bike, just the same as you would train with progressive overload in the gym with weights. So I push it when I ride, and I actually find I get some killer leg workouts from it. And I've actually slacked back on some of my training in terms of leg workouts in the gym. Now, I still train legs in the gym. It's just I've cut back the volume to accommodate the cycling that I've been doing. And to kind of put things in perspective, like in the last month, what was it? Well, I've been doing a cycling challenge, doing a fundraiser. It's called the Great Cycle Challenge Canada, and it's a fundraiser that we're doing for the Sick Kids Foundation. It's a fundraiser for kids with cancer. And this month, so far in August, I've rode 845 kilometers in August, and a lot of elevation in there as well. With that, I'm not sure exactly the numbers, like somewhere around 10,000 meters of elevation that I've climbed, in addition to the 845 kilometers. So lot of high intensity training in there, a lot of high intensity cycling. So, I mean, I've been getting some killer leg workouts just from that alone. All right, what else we got? We have Zal Sammy, I think it is. Why lift WW3 around the corner? Go eat, have fun. Why lift World War III around the corner? Well, why are you watching this video if you don't even want to go lift? Like, hey, go eat and have fun. You're tuned into a fitness video stream and then you're saying, why lift? You're on the wrong channel, dude. Like you like watching people talk about working out while you don't want to go work out. I don't know. Anyway, go eat and have fun. Who else we got there? We have K Brown Focus. I know I've asked this before and I did what you said, but I'm still getting shakes after workouts. I'm at a loss, brother. It's made it to where I hate the gym now. Don't know what to do. D3 is thumbs up. I know I've asked this before, but I'm still getting the shakes. I can't remember what you asked me before about getting the shakes. I really can't. If you are in doubt, get it checked out. Again, if there's something, you're having some health issues that you're not sure of or whatever, go to your doctor and get it checked out. Like, I'm not a doctor. I don't pretend to be one on YouTube, so I can't really diagnose any problems that you have. I can offer suggestions when it comes to workouts and nutrition, but if you have some issues that you're not sure of, go get it checked out. Don't try and diagnose it through YouTube comments. That's not the smart way to go about it. It's my birthday. That one's from Bored Shark. Happy birthday. We have Nath joining. Says, Lee, my first time catching you live. I hardly drink water. Well, congrats on catching the live video. Not congrats on not drinking water. I know I should. I just don't get nowhere near what I need. What impact will this have on my training and potential muscle growth? Okay, you don't drink water. Well, guess what? Muscle is like 75% water. That's like saying I don't eat protein. Like, muscle is comprised of like basically two major things: water and protein. If you don't drink water and if you don't eat enough protein, then guess what? You don't have the raw material your body needs to build and recover muscle. You need, like, water to your body is like oil to your car. It's like saying I don't check the oil in my car. I always run my car on low oil. I never want to top up the oil in my car. Guess what? Eventually the engine's going to seize up. You're going to have trouble. If you don't drink enough water, you're going to run into problems. I mean, water is essential for everything in your body, right? You need it to circulate blood flow and to circulate nutrition and vitamins and minerals and get everything throughout your body. Your body is mostly water. So, I mean, if you're constantly dehydrated, you're constantly like suppressing everything that your body needs to do. Like, it's just, seriously, it's stupid. Like, just gradually start to drink more water. If you don't like drinking water because you say, oh, water doesn't taste good or whatever, then get some flavored water. You know, you can add, like, there's all kinds of these little water flavoring things that you can get, you know, squirt into your water, like Mio or Crystal Light or whatever. You can get these like low calorie water flavor additives if you need to. Chop up some fruit, like, hey, put some sliced lemon and sliced cucumber in your water. That can add some flavor to it. Bottom line, just get more water. Seriously, do not neglect water. Like, you know this. I don't need to go on talking about this. Lee Dunnigan is joining in. Says, can you recommend any exercises for grip strength? Yeah, absolutely. Heavy grips, hand grippers. I carry them right over on my website, leehayward.com. Heavy grips, hand grippers are by far my favorite grip training tool. If you've never used them before, you don't know what you're missing. Like, grip training is awesome. And the cool thing about heavy grips, hand grippers is you can train in progressive overload. Like, they come in 6 different strengths, starting with 100 pounds in tension all the way up to 350 pounds in tension. Hang on, guys. I got cut off there. I think I'm back again. Am I back? All right. Where was I? All right. I'll keep going. Hopefully I didn't lose the stream there. Where are we to? I lost. Okay, we talked about grip strength. I mentioned heavy grips, hand grippers. Have you ever seen anyone who counted calories not lose weight? Uh, yeah, I have. I've seen people who've tracked calories because sometimes when it comes to counting calories, a lot of people don't count accurately, or they have, they don't, um, how can I put it? Just because you're tracking doesn't mean you're tracking accurately. And sometimes it's silly as it is, like I see people overestimate how many calories they need and underestimate how many calories they consume and everything else. But yeah, you can still track and not lose weight because you're just not doing it properly, right? Bottom line, if you're following an eating and nutrition plan and you're not losing weight, then at some way, some shape, some form, you're still consuming too many calories and not burning enough, right? You need to create a bigger calorie deficit, either by exercising more or eating less, right? If you, like, I get this all the time. People say, well, I'm eating healthy and I'm exercising and I'm not losing weight. I think, well, okay, you gotta burn more and you gotta eat less. Like, you can still get fat eating healthy, right? You can still track your calories, track your macros and all this, and eat what the so-called diet plan of the pros and still get fat if you're not in a calorie deficit. And everybody's body is unique. Like, just because Joe Blow can get ripped on 2,500 calories a day doesn't mean that everybody can get ripped on that. Or someone else might get ripped on 3,500 calories a day. Like, it all varies, right? So just because someone tracks their calories doesn't mean that they're guaranteed to get shredded or get ripped, right? Like, you need to fine tune it and customize it to you, your body type, your situation, your metabolism. So yeah, I mean, that's not a surefire solution just because someone tracks their calories. Nath is saying, I often look like I'm pregnant, which is obviously impossible being male. Well, I hope so, but even though Arnold Schwarzenegger got pregnant in that movie Junior, if anybody remembers that back in the day. Okay, he looks like you're pregnant. I know it's due to anterior pelvic tilt. How can I correct this? If you look like you're pregnant, you probably got a big gut. If you probably got a big gut, you probably need to lose some weight. Like, I'm just being honest here. Again, I don't know what you look like. I'm only reading your comments, so don't take it personal. But if you look like you're pregnant, it means you probably got a big gut. And it's probably not just your anterior pelvic tilt, right? It's probably because you got some excess body fat that needs to be lost. Diet and cardio probably help take care of that. Now, I'm not saying that improving your posture won't help as well, but like, posture doesn't make somebody look fat. All right, just being honest. What else we got there? Chris is joining in. He says, you talked about working stubborn muscles by doing a few sets throughout the week on that stubborn body part, but how many sets are too many where you really should do a full warm-up? All right, this is how I would recommend that, and just kind of like recap. Let's just say you have your chest. It works really good for chest because one of the best exercises you can do for a stubborn chest is push-ups. And with a push-up, it's a body weight exercise. And if you're in pretty good shape and you can do high rep push-ups, like you can do 20 or more push-ups, you really don't need to do much of a warm-up. Like, most people who are in decent shape can hit the floor and do a set of push-ups even if you're cold. Like, I can do that. I mean, I really don't need to warm up for a set of push-ups. But if I pump out 20 or 30 or 40 push-ups, I mean, I'm going to get a really good pump in the chest, right? Even if just totally cold, like if I just hit the floor right now and banged out, 30 push-ups, I would get a nice pump in the pecs. You could do that a couple times a day, or even just once a day, even if you did it once a day. And just think, like, over the course of the week, if I just did an extra set of push-ups, I did 30 push-ups a day over the course of the week, that's an extra 200 push-ups, right? 200 push-ups in addition to my workouts at the gym. Like, that extra training volume, that extra blood flow, that extra muscle stimulation that I'm getting from that would help to spur on some new growth. That would help to speed up growth in the chest. Now, let's just say it's not the chest you're working on, it's the legs. Well, you could do body weight squats, right? I mean, and most people don't need to warm up for a body weight squat. Like, you could probably bang out 50 body weight squats without any warm up. But I guarantee you, if you do 50 squats, even with just your body weight, your legs are going to be pumped. Your quads are going to be pumped. You're going to be feeling your hamstrings and your glutes. Like, you're going to get a good pump. If you did that every single day, that would help to spur on some new growth in the legs. Now, maybe it's the arms that's the stubborn body part. Well, hey, get yourself some dumbbells or resistance bands or whatever and just do a high rep set of curls every day. Like, don't overthink it. The whole idea of it is just a little bit of extra volume and extra blood flow to those stubborn body parts. And the more often you pump up a stubborn body part, the better you're going to develop that mind-muscle connection, the better you're going to improve the circulation and the ability to get a pump in that body part. And then when you're actually training it in the gym, you're going to get more muscle activation and more mind-muscle connection there. And it's just going to help to speed up the whole process. So if you have a stubborn body part, then prioritize it. And one of the easiest ways to do that is just by doing a little tiny bit daily. So I would recommend like literally 1 or 2 sets daily. That's enough. Don't do any more than that. Like don't go in there and 20 sets a day for a body part or anything like that, because it's just too much for your body to recover from. But a little bit daily, you can handle that. You can recover and adapt, and your body is not going to overtrain because you did an extra set of push-ups every day or something like that. So that's what I recommend when I was talking about adding in some extra workouts like that. And this is stuff that ideally you would do at home. Like if it's push-ups or squats, you don't even need any exercise equipment. You just do it. If it's like biceps or shoulders or something like that, then you're going to need some bands or dumbbells or something just to get the stimulation that you need. But keep it simple. Don't overthink it. Again, the priority of your workouts is still what you're going to be doing at the gym. This is just like a little extra add-on to help spur on some new growth in stubborn areas. To baby boomer saying I can't lose unless I have no carbs. That's not true. You just need to be in a calorie deficit. I guarantee you can, if you're in a low enough calorie deficit, you can still lose if you have carbs in your diet. My personal favorite fat loss macro ratio, like everybody wants to know, is what's your macros, right? I'm going to tell you the secret macro ratio, and this is one that I discovered after 30 years of trial and error, and it works. 1/3 protein, 1/3 carbs, 1/3 fat. A well-balanced diet. Wow. Right? It sounds so simple when you talk about it, but it didn't come about simple because I went through all the different diet trends in order to come to the grand realization that, wow, a well-balanced diet is the best diet that actually works. Because back in the day when I started working out, like it was all low fat. Everybody was on the low fat kick. Right? Fat makes you fat, so don't eat fat. But you can eat all the carbs and all the protein you want as long as your fat is low. Well, guess what? People started eating that way and they ended up getting fatter because they were eating way too much, right? It's still calories in versus calories out at the end of the day, regardless if it's protein, carbs, or fat. And so when people realized, well, the low fat wasn't working, everybody went low carb. And we're kind of seeing that return again, like everybody's back on the low carb kick again. But low carb has its drawbacks too, because when your carbs are low, guess what? A lot of times your energy is low, your muscle fullness is low, and a lot of people just feel grumpy and irritable and feel like crap on low carb. Now, some people like it, right? Everybody's unique, but I've heard a lot more negative on low carb diet than I hear positive. And then you get the whole vegan kick where everyone's saying, well, it's not the carbs, it's not the fat, it's the animal protein. Like, you got to get that animal protein out of there. So let's go on a low protein diet, right? Let's have high carbs, high fat, and low protein. And guess what? There's a lot of drawbacks to that as well. Like I've tried all these different diets. I've tried low fat. I've tried low carb. I've tried low protein. I've went through all the different scenarios. And lo and behold, when I went back to eating a well-balanced diet and literally 1/3 calories from protein, 1/3 from fat, 1/3 from carbs, things just work. Like I don't have these crazy mood swings. I don't have these fluctuations. I don't feel depleted or deprived or anything. I just feel healthy and energetic, and the body just works the way it's supposed to. You don't develop nutritional deficiencies and all this kind of stuff. You don't go through the ups and downs that you do when you, like, the body doesn't like extremes. Like, cut things to extremes. Like, oh, I got to cut my carbs to 0, or I got to cut this out or cut that out. Like, well-balanced, moderation. I mean, I know it sounds boring. It's not sexy and whatever, but it works. And that's what I've been doing over the last few years. Like, if you look at my overall routine, it's actually very plain and boring and vanilla. But guess what? It's plain, boring, and vanilla, and it works. And I'm actually in better shape now than I've been ever by following all these crazy fad, complicated diets. All right? So I've came full circle when it comes to stuff like that. Well balanced. I mean, it's just plain, boring, vanilla, but it works. All right, I'm going to get ready to glue it up soon because we have dinner on the table. I can hear my wife up there, and she's kind of She got dinner cooked, and I'm going to go up and enjoy dinner with the family very soon. But I'm going to throw out a couple more questions. I have problem to come back to gym. COVID is everywhere. We have so many limitations. Okay, well, if you can't work out at the gym, work out at home. Too Funny is asking, can I work out with pain in the muscle? Does it impair my growth? It depends what kind of pain it is. If it's there's good pain and bad pain when it comes to workouts. Bad pain is that sharp shooting pain. That's usually like an injury. If you feel like a really sharp shooting pain, or it's in the tendons and ligaments, that's not good pain. That's bad pain. That's potential injury, or that's something that you need to rehab and fix. The good pain is that dull ache that you get in your muscles after a hard workout. So like you train your chest and you get that dull ache in your pecs, like, oh man, my pecs are sore, all right, I can feel it. But your joints, tendons, and ligaments feel fine. It's just that dull, achy sensation. That's a good pain, right? It's fine to have that after a hard workout. Now, can you still work out with that dull, achy soreness? Yes. I mean, ideally what you would do is you would train some other body parts instead, right? So you would just help to, that's where the whole body part split routine come from. I mean, hey, I train chest, and if my chest is sore, well, I'm not going to train chest tomorrow. I'm going to train another body part instead. So, hey, maybe I'll work back, right? Or maybe I'll work legs, or I'll work something else, right? That's how the whole body part split routine came about. So you can do that, but in addition to that, you could probably even do a little bit of light exercise for the body parts that are sore. And this is actually advantageous because it helps to pump new blood and nutrients into those muscles. And that can help to aid with recovery. And one of the worst things you can do if you want to speed up recovery is to do absolutely nothing. Like light activity where you get the heart pumping and the blood flow and circulation throughout your body, that actually speeds up the process. So in my case, what I like to do is I alternate weight training one day and cardio the next. So I'm getting daily exercise, but it's complementary forms of exercise, right? You're getting the high intensity weight training, and then you're getting the lower intensity cardio. So you're getting the blood flow and the circulation from the cardio, and then you're getting the strength training and the muscle breakdown from weight training. And when you work both of them back and forth, it's very complementary. It helps to speed up the whole process. So you help aid with muscle growth, aid with the building up of the muscle, and then on the cardio days, you help to aid with fat burning. And that's what most people want. Most people want to build muscle and burn fat. And by doing that, you can get the benefits of both. And it also, the cardio serves as active recovery. So it'll help to speed up the recovery from the weight training workouts. It's like, again, sitting around doing nothing is actually one of the worst things that you can do for recovery, because your body likes movement. Your body likes fresh blood flow and circulation. That's what speeds up the process. All right, let's see, we got a super chat tip and question came through. Let me see what came through there. This one's from the last fake natty. Do you have a question? He says, Lee for President 2020. Appreciate the support, my friend. If you got a question, hey, throw it in there. I don't know if you do, or if you just giving me some support. Much appreciated. See what else we got. Someone's complimenting on the Dad Bod shirt. Yeah, Dad Bod Transformation. It's a Facebook group that I'm a part of. It's a big group too. It's like 34,000 members. Like, it is a big group. Okay, Jason, great shirt. How do you make your popcorn to keep it healthy? And do you have any other recommendations for evening healthy snacks? I actually made a video talking about late night snacks and cravings. Just do a search for Lee Hayward. What is it? Cravings? Lee Hayward snack cravings or late night cravings, and you should find that video. The thumbnail, it's a pink background of me eating a blender ice cream out of a blender. But it's Lee Hayward late satisfy your cravings. I think that's what it is. If you search for Lee Hayward satisfy your cravings, you'll find the video. And I go in there, I talk about popcorn, I talk about blender ice cream recipes, different ways that you can satisfy those late night cravings without blowing your diet. And watch that video and implement some of those into your eating plan. That's critical, because I'm telling you, when most people lose, like, most guys can do okay throughout the day. right? Because you're busy, you're at work, you're doing whatever you do. But then in the evening, when you settle down, that's when the cravings hit, that's when the appetite spikes, and that's when you can really blow your diet and do a lot of damage. Like I've seen a lot of people do, you know, keep everything under control all day long, and then as soon as the evening hits, it's like, oh man, they're hungry, and they just can't control the cravings, and then that's when they break out the potato chips. That's when they order the pizza. That's when they whatever, right? That's when things just go to crap, is in the evening. So you need to have some good action plans and strategies to keep things under control in the evening, or else you're just going to blow the diet, and whatever progress you made is going to get undone very quickly. So again, do a YouTube search for Lee Hayward, Satisfy Your Cravings, and you'll see that'll cover all the stuff that you just mentioned in your question there, Jason. That's covered in that video. What exercises help to correct A.P.T while having weak abs and more so weak transverse abs? Make my A.P.T look worse. If you want to focus on strengthening your core, I mean, like go to the playlist section. There's ab workouts listed there. So if you're looking for some, you want exercises to strengthen weak abs, I've got playlists covered there. Again, go to the main YouTube channel, open up the playlist tabs. One of the most recent ones that I posted up was a Tabata ab workout. Now, I did that when everything was shut down over COVID. So it's a home ab workout that you can follow along with. That's a really good one. That is very intense, very complete, and it's going to hit all areas of your core. Like it's going to hit the upper, the lower, the obliques, the lower back, like all areas of your core. It's going to come to play. So if you're looking for a killer ab workout to help strengthen weak abs, that would be one that I would recommend. In fact, if you have weak abs, you'll probably not even be able to do that. So just do your best, right? Like if you can't complete the full workout, then that's fine, right? Like that's okay. Just do your best and then focus on progressive overload each time. And then ideally, over the course of several workouts, you'll be able to build up to doing the full routine and then even progressing on that. Can I still gain size not doing the big three? That's from Adam. Yes, you can still gain size without doing the big three. And what he means by the big three is the squat, bench, and deadlift. I mean, squats are great, benches are great, deadlifts are great if you can do those exercises and if you like them and if they work for your body. But you don't have to do them. There's a lot of different exercises that work the legs. There's a lot of different exercises that work the chest, and there's a lot of different exercises that work the back. You do not have to squat, bench, and deadlift to build muscle. Right? You can use other exercises instead. And we are very fortunate in this day and age that we have a wide variety of exercise equipment at the gym, right? There's dozens of different exercises that you can do for all your major muscle groups. You don't have to stick to just those 3 exercises. Okay, what else? Edward is saying, hey, Lee, would like to say you're looking great lately. Thank you much. Appreciate it. Question, soreness that is directly related to growth. What are your thoughts? Soreness that is directly related to growth. I kind of covered muscle soreness earlier. I'm not sure if that would answer your question, but you don't have to get sore to make muscle gains. Like generally speaking, the way it works is when people are out of shape, that's when they're going to get the most muscle soreness. As you get in better shape, you're going to get less and less muscle soreness. So like the more advanced somebody is, the less sore they're going to get. It's usually beginners and people who are coming back to the gym after a layoff and people who are just deconditioned and out of shape. They are the ones who get painfully sore. The advanced people, the guys you see in the gym day in, day out and pushing it, they're not getting painfully sore. No. I mean, they may feel a bit fatigued or like say a little tiny bit of delayed muscle soreness afterwards, but it's not to the point where they can't train. Like it's the beginners, right? Like you see this New Year's resolution, right? January 1st, everybody says, oh, I'm fat, I'm out of shape. That's it. I'm going to get myself back in shape. And then they run into the gym, haven't been into the gym in 6 months, and they do a 2-hour workout on January 1st. And then, January 2nd, they can't move. And then the whole first week of January, they're laid up with aches and pains, like, oh my God, I can't move. Oh, I'm feeling like shit, blah, blah, blah. And then what do? They quit working out, right? It's people who are out of shape who can't handle it, and the people who are out of shape who get the most muscle soreness. But as you get in better shape, the less soreness you get. And this is confusing for a lot of people, especially as you transition from that newbie to intermediate and then to advanced stages. Because as you get in better shape, you're getting less soreness. And like people think, well, if I'm not getting sore, am I still building muscle? Yes, you can still build muscle without getting painfully sore. Right? That's just the way it is. Soreness does not equal growth. Can I do a backflip? No, I can't. Nope, not even going to try. That's from the last fake natty. Are there any alternatives to lat pull downs? I've got a barbell and some plates. Gyms are still closed. Get yourself some rubber resistance bands, and you can do rubber resistance band pull downs. That's a great variation that you can do. Have my testosterone levels checked and it's above low levels. I'm 31 and my primary physician thinks I do not need TRT. Any thoughts? Well, you have low testosterone and your physician thinks that you don't need TRT. Well, you could go talk to another physician, or you could go talk to a hormone replacement clinic and get a second opinion. But if you have low levels, then that's probably a sign that you may need something, right? Low is not good, right? If I were in your situation, I would get a second opinion, or if you have hormone replacement clinics in your area, go talk to them. Because a lot of doctors are I don't know, they're very old school when it comes to hormone replacement therapy, and they're like, oh, that's taboo, that's bad, don't use it, and whatever. But man, there's such benefits to it. There really is. Like, low testosterone is not healthy. Like, having a normal, healthy testosterone is healthy. I don't know why people think testosterone is bad, right? But I mean, it's not. Like, low levels is what's bad, and it's not just physical in terms of muscle and fat and everything else, but it's mental and emotional. I mean, testosterone is what makes you feel like a man. Like, if you're losing muscle, you're losing sex drive, you're gaining fat, and you have low energy and low libido, and you just feel like shit, and you're dragging your ass through life, like, does that make you feel excited and energized and enthusiastic about life? No, you're just kind of like just surviving, going through the motions, right? Testosterone helps you make you feel like a man. And this is such important, not just from the physical side of things, but the mental and emotional side of things. So, I mean, if I were you, man, I'd get another opinion. Right? And ideally, if you can, go to a clinic. Because, in fact, if you live in the United States, then I can actually recommend a friend of mine who has a hormone replacement clinic, and you can do it like virtual, like you can do phone consultations and stuff like that. You can get your blood work done locally. If you want if you want a referral for someone who can actually help you with this, and you live in the United States, then just send me an email, leeh@leehayward.com, and I can refer you to somebody. Anyway, guys, I'm going to get ready and clue it up because my wife is upstairs. We got supper on the table, and I don't want to keep her waiting any longer. Hopefully you enjoyed the video chat. I always enjoy doing these chats. I love just, shooting the shit. Like, again, there's no script, there's no rhyme, there's no reason. It's just, hey, I turn on the camera and I start talking, and hopefully you enjoy it. And the replay of this is going to be posted up within the next day or so, and I'll be doing another one next week. So there, have yourself a good one. Have a great weekend. I'll talk to you later. Over and out.